Thank you to our sponsors: North Dakota Corn Council, North Dakota Corn Growers Association, North Dakota Soybean Council, Bremer Bank, Agri-Valley Solutions, Crary Ag, and Dakota Plains Realty.
Our AgWeek corn and soybean tour kicks off this week in northeast South Dakota, where Kennedy Tesh found the corn crop is in fairly good condition, although they could use some warmer weather.
Kurt Turner is a co-owner of Ag Genesis, a crop consulting business based in Brookings. He says while some corn growers in his corner of the state started planting in mid-April, heavy rains early in the season dealt them some setbacks. But still, Turner says most of the crop is looking good.
So the early corn had a little struggle getting out of the ground, some lighter stands, but the later corn had great stands. It's a good crop right now.
With cooler than average temperatures this growing season, Turner says the corn crop is about 10 days behind going into September and could use some heat. He says his clients aren't seeing much disease.
Seems like most fields I go into, we can see a little bit of northern corn leaf blight, a little bit of rust, nothing that's probably major.
Turner also says he's not seeing a lot of weed pressure among his growers this year.
Of course, water hemp's the big weed that we deal with. We're able to control it pretty well in the corn.
Turner says growers are seeing some pests, so he recommends root protection.
This year, anything that hasn't been root treated a lot of it's having some problems with rootworm.
Turner says they've had plenty of rain, but now need some warm weather to bring in a good corn crop.
So a lot of this corn is just starting to dent, and I foresee that we're going to need a warm September to get things finished off.
Near Brookings, South Dakota, this is Kennedy Tesh for AgWeek.
Turner says he thinks the average corn yield in his area will be about 200 bushels. Our tour now takes us to Central North Dakota, where Jenny Schleck took a look at the soybean crop.
Thanks, Emily. We're here with Greg Andrews. He's an extension agronomist at the Carrington Research Extension Center. And Greg, what are we seeing in soybeans this year with such a cool, wet season that we've had?
Well, the wet part is very positive because, as most people know, we need moisture when the crop is in the reproductive stage. So late July, having good soil moisture, and definitely into August, that really keeps that yield potential up there. Here at Carrington, from April 1 until the current time, we've had about 17.5 inches. And so that's a bit above the average, but in particular would be that period from mid-July through August where we really want to minimize stress as the plant is producing seed, and that is happening. So yield potential is very conservatively is above average, and it looks very, very good actually.
Now, the crop report that came out this week said that soybeans are pretty behind on setting pods compared to average and last year. Are you concerned at all if we were to have an early frost, what that would mean for the yield potential?
Yes, most definitely. In general, we are behind on our plant development. Most of our soybean in the region are in anywhere from the R5 stage, which means that a person looks at the upper 4 nodes of the plant, and then within those nodes find beans, and then looking at the pod or seed development, that'll tell us what stage. And so in this particular plant, we have seed that's developing. And so it's definitely in the R5 stage, actually getting very close to R6 stage. So at R5, at the very start of R5, when the seed is just beginning to be formed, it's on average, it'll be around 40 days from this stage until maturity. But our beans, if they're at R6 stage, then it's less time. And long-term average for us, for a killing frost, is about October 1. And so in most instances, we should be good. The exception would be if people are planting their soybeans into June and planting a later maturing variety. And then if the frost comes earlier, of course.
What would be the ideal conditions to see to really get this crop where it needs to be to finish out the year?
Well, with the 10-day forecast, it looks quite positive. And we have not high temperatures, little cooler nights, and we're okay. I think if that continues, I think most people would enjoy having dry weather for extended time now to finish up our small grain harvest and move into dry bean harvest and some specialty oil seeds, maybe flax and canola, and then move into dry bean and soybean. So there's always variability, but in general, I think most guys are happy with their soil moisture, and we need some good weather for our harvest.
Thank you. In Carrington, North Dakota, this is Jenny Schlecht with AgWeek.
Thanks for watching AgweekTV on YouTube. Make sure to like and subscribe. We put out new videos every Saturday.